Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving week.
Tuesday.
Tuesday it is. So we are here. I got Dee here. For some reason, I got a little delay going on. Do you have a delay on your end?
You're a little delayed right now.
I don't know if it's just my internet or what, but it's like, wah, wah, wah.
Oh, it just got caught up.
Okay, that's good to know. It's not when I look at myself, I can't see it being caught up, but we're excited you're with us. So, of course, as we start every single show, we want to see who's on and tell us where you're from. I'm Andrea. I am from San Diego. Who are you and where are you from, Dee?
I am Dee, and I am also from San Diego. She is my mama director.
Well, we might be delayed, but I promise we're going to give you some good stuff. So we're going to dive right in. And I do see one Facebook user. Do me a big favor, look up and grant StreamYard permission to see your name. Because I want to make sure we give our gift of the night away to one of our guests. So the more comments you have, the more chances you have to win. And of course, we will choose our guest in the very at the end. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about what is contouring. I asked Dee to be with me so that she and I could do this together. But when you look at makeup art, hold on, something just popped up in front of my face. 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I think I'm back to normal, and it must be because my computer was we just finished a training and it was recorded, so I think my computer was so tied up.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? My light, keep on talking, Andrea.
Okay, so what exactly is contouring and what exactly is highlighting? So I love Blondie. I'm sort of a rock fan. So I'm going to actually pull up this picture of Debbie Harry. And I'm going to talk about her for a second because I want to show you. Let me take this thing off now. So I want to show you how she has a very full face. And Debbie Harry here looks fabulous. But I remember this picture years and years ago, and it helped me understand contouring and highlighting a lot. It's very similar to being in a dark closet. And if you've ever had that scary, when you have a slumber party with your middle school friends or your elementary school friends, and you have the flashlight and you go, oh, and you put your flashlight right at your chin, the light is hitting your face exactly where a highlighter would. So as you look at Debbie Harry, and I wish I could have a little bit of a pointer here, but you can see her cheeks have a shadow to it. Her eye sockets, the depth of her eye actually is so dark, you don't notice that darkness. You just see her eyelid, her iris, the actual pupil coming forward. It's a very slimming effect. You notice the nose. See where the nose has almost that contour from the brow all the way down to the side of the nostril. There's almost like that curved, it's very slimming. It has a very sleek kind of appearance. This is all done by contouring and by highlighting. So I hope that you understood. I have more of a straight nose, but you see, she had that nice curve. Well, let's see if I do it this way. From here to there, it was almost like a curve. And we can actually do those kind of things with color. So I am going to be going back and forth to see who's talking. Andrea Zajac, can I share this on my page? I don't know the question. Do you mean the video? Can you share the video on your page? We had this come up. I don't know who you are. Please grant StreamYard permission so I can see your name. And I believe these videos are going to be, now we're on YouTube. So yes, I would say, okay, so now I know the answer. Just go to their YouTube and share the URL and then put it into your VIP group or any place that you want to give this education. Okay, so since it's nighttime and Dee and I, we're on the Pacific. Oh, it's Amanda. Yay, Amanda, I love you. I'm so happy to see you. Okay, so yes, and I'll talk to you privately if that didn't make sense. So we're going to do a little bit of demonstration. And yes, I am over exaggerating because it's nighttime and I'm just going to go get ready for bed. So I asked Dee to be my handy dandy fellow.
Can you see me okay?
Yeah, you're good. You're
Okay,
a little
good.
bit dark. It's okay. So she's just going to play along with me. But here's what we're going to do first. We're going to talk about face shapes. Now, you saw Debbie Harry has a full face. There's a heart-shaped face. That's sort of me. Dee, you're a heart-shaped face too. So we're wider here, and then we come down. Now, we did a whole master class on how to actually determine that. And you can actually measure your face and find exactly which one you are. But your beauty consultant should be able to assist you with that. If not, put it in the chat what you want to learn more about, and maybe we'll create a Tuesday night master class just for you. I'm going to take our cream brush, and you can use, Zulema is so great at using, she uses the same one, the cream brush right here. Okay, sometimes it says cream color, but you can use it for this specific reason. If you're doing any kind of, if you're a dry skin person, if you're older, as I work with my over 50 clients, and having makeup but not makeup that makes you look older, you really want to use cream. Cream is very hydrating, so you can use something like a CC cream. Now this is a darker color for me, so I'll just show you what I'm doing. So if you wanted to use a cream, this would be one way to do it. The most simple, and for tonight, I'm going to just give you some simple things, but your beauty consultant can sit with you and really have more education for your shape. The ideal shape is an oval. Okay, let me just pull up a picture as we go through some basics. So let's go ahead and just look at the different face shapes. We have diamond, we have heart. I could probably be a heart versus, heart is the same as, what did we say we were, Dee?
We're heart-shaped.
Yeah, okay, we did say heart. For some reason, I thought
before you said that, you said full shape. We're like a full face.
Well, that was the picture I started with, which was the round would be, Debbie Harry had a round or a full face. So myself and Dee are more heart face, but we have diamond, rectangular face, square face, triangle. Can you see my cursor on this, Dee, or no?
Move it around, because if it's been on there, then no, I don't see it.
Okay, so you can't see. So then, of course, triangle. But the long, I did a video the other day with Fran, and I can post it, but she has a longer face. And so with the longer face, you might not necessarily do much contouring. And then, of course, oval is the ideal face shape. So everything is going to be targeted to create whatever face shape you have, that we want to make you look a little bit more symmetrical, like an oval. Okay, so with that being said, let's just look at this picture above the oval of, I think it's Kim Kardashian. So everywhere they have light under the eyes, right underneath the eyebrow, the middle of the nose, the middle of the forehead, the middle of the chin, even underneath that fatty part of the chin, she has that little bit of highlight. And then she has some of the darker areas. That's the contour, and blended over on the right. Doesn't she look slimming? It's a very slimming look. Her lips look more plump, a little bit more sensual, if you will. So these are techniques that we can go more in depth when we have appointments. But just as a simple rule of thumb, I'm going to just tell you, on one side of my face, I'm going to do cream. And the other side of my face, I'm going to do powder. So Dee, you can do either of these. If you don't have cream, just go ahead and do your powder. And I'm going to over exaggerate. And that's just to show you guys. I actually should turn my light on. I have a little lamp that I can work with. So with this side of my cheek, I already got on makeup, so we're just going to put it over top. Cream goes on cream. Powder goes on powder. So if you are somebody who's dry and you want to use a cream as a contour, then you can use a deeper CC cream. You can use even a, where's my camera? You can even have our contour correcting. Whoops. You could use our color corrector. It's called perfecting concealer. That's what it's called. So you can even just pull that out and you could just put that on if it was darker. So for this, I always say just do a fish face to start, because then you can figure out where your bone is. I'm pretty bony. So for me, I don't want to cause my bones to be more amplified. So I might not do as much as some people. And Dee's perfect example here, because she has these perfect cheekbones. There's not too dominant and they're not too recessed. So she's going to just bring out her cheekbones a little bit more with the contour. So for contouring, you can actually, whether it's powder or cream, you would start around the temple. And if you think of a 3 or a backwards E, so I would start here, fish faced. I'd put it underneath the bone, and we all have that bone. Okay, some of us have to really do a fish face, but we're trying to get the contour right here. So I could start, and I could put some of that dark here. I can then, and technically you're not going to want it in the middle, but you would put it here and then put it here. Again, that fish face. And then if you want a quick weight loss diet from your dietitian.
Don't we all? I'm just kidding. No, we don't. Not all of them.
Let me see who's chatting with us. Is anyone even on? Are we talking to ourselves? Who else is out there? Dee?
Hey, I didn't do it.
D&D show. I love it. I love it. Okay, then right underneath this jaw.
Where's my mirror? Oh, there's my mirror.
Okay.
Oh, I saw my mirror.
Okay, so it's almost like a 3. And on this side, I'm going to change, because remember, I'm doing cream. I wanted to show you cream on this side. So I'm going to show you what you can do. Zulema taught me this trick. You just take your all over shadow, and then you take your, I've got latte. So this right here is latte. For me, latte is good. Someone else, oh, Amy, pause on. So someone else, they might want to have, if they have a little bit more depth of color, then they would use the cocoa. And whether you're using one of our sticks, we had a stick, the Sculpt number 1 is equivalent to latte, and that's nice because it's a cream. Or of course, where am I at here? Put my powder here. So I'm going to show you pretty exaggerated, but I think you're going to get the point. And then down on the jawline. So this is a slimming effect, especially if you happen to have a little extra weight. It really has a wonderful technique for picture taking. And my gosh, you guys, we're going to take a lot of pictures from this time all the way to the end of the year.
Yes, we are. She's absolutely right.
Right? So let me pull up this picture one more time just so we can practice together. This is another perfect example of contouring. There's our Mona Lisa, a little bit more of a chubby, picture. And then we have a little bit more chiseled, more defined. Quite honestly, it's more appealing. And I think that that's that sensuality that we feel more just feminine and beautiful when we're bringing out our best features. And that's what this is all about. Let me just show you our amazing and beautiful leader. This is Joanna, and Zulema did some contouring with her, and she taught us about, it was specifically the nose area. So this is what we're going to talk about now, but I wish that we had our Joe in person to show, but I'm going to try my best. It's very hard to even come close to our beautiful Joe and her. She's just so funny. I always tell people, she's funny, I'm just fun. And we're going to do our nose. Okay, so before we blend, now everything is about blending. But before we get there, we're going to put on, you see, we've got the contour. And now we're going to put on contour at the nose. Now, if you noticed, the picture of Debbie Harry with really great makeup art, it's right here is where, and I actually have to add my brows because I don't have hair. So right at this area is where the contouring starts for the nose. So if you notice, it's this little shadow. So I'm going to do my best. Put that powder right on the side here. Okay.
Right on the side.
I just put a lot. Holy moly, I look crazy. Okay, but that is part of the process. So if I can, let me see where my camera.
It is. And you know what? Practice. You got to practice. Everybody's got to practice.
That's why we do this, especially at night when Tuesday nights, who's going to go out on Tuesday night? So we're going to,
Right?
you see, I'm really over exaggerating on purpose. Now I went a little deep. You don't want to go that deep. You just want to go that ridge. Okay. Talk to us.
Right.
Is this helpful? Who's out there? Give us some loving. I see Amy and Amanda. Is that it? Nobody else wants to know how to slim down their nose? Don't breathe when you're doing
You know what? We're going to, yeah, I'm not planning on breathing.
Okay, let me tell you what.
We're going to be sharing this all over, so it's going to be great.
Right here, you need to highlight, but I think, let me pull up that little picture. Hold on. Sometimes you got to practice a little bit, but I want to show you guys. See on this nose, see how this is shaded, but then the tip is highlighted. Okay, let's go to this nose. Right here is a little bit of shadow. So sometimes it's just like paint by numbers. So we're going to put a little bit of that darker color around the bottom of the nose. And then, of course, we would highlight and change over to our highlight. So
now, Andrea,
yes.
Question. So this has come up for me a couple of times. If you have hair on the forehead and going across, what I remember Zulema saying something about this. What would the contouring be like if we have a lot going on here? Do you worry about the contouring on the forehead? Or do we just want to focus on the spot right here?
Well, I think when you do makeup art, it's technically with your hair back and you're focused on the face. So I would say you just keep doing it as normal. Is she, let me see that we got a comment here. Alice is so sweet. Yay, Alice, I sent it to you. You can join us. I sent it to you in Facebook Messenger. So just join us. We're having a party. Both yes. Alice and Dee said that they would be willing to help me tonight. So they are part of the party. And I'm going to now start with some highlights. So as I did cream on which side? I did cream here. I'm going to now show you where we would do the highlight. Okay. So as you do highlight.
Okay, this is where I'm really going to be over exaggerated because this might be a little too light. We'll see though.
And I am using the deep ivory. Normally, I don't use such a light one, but I really wanted to over exaggerate for you guys tonight.
This is light ivory.
Yeah, that might be too light. I would say normally 2 stages lighter would be okay. I am normally a light beige. So my on a daily basis when I do my correcting concealer.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay, so notice I should do powder on the nose. I'm sorry, darn it. I sort of messed up because I forgot which side I was doing with cream and which side I'm doing with powder. But y'all love me, right? Give me some love out there. Okay, so then
that's right, the powder
on the chin. Now remember earlier we talked about when people have a little bit more meat here. Okay, so we've got the contour, but this is my cream side. Okay, good, I did it. Then you can always do some of the highlight in between. Again, pulling out this part as well. Now, as you're doing, let me just pull up our picture. Here's Alice. Pulling out this part. Okay, the only thing you got to turn off your Facebook. Here's Alice. Pulling out this part. Hi. Hold on. Until you've got that turned off, Alice, we've got too much of an echo. So you've got to leave Facebook if you're going to join us live. So just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Turned off, Alice, we've got too much of an echo. So you've got to leave Facebook. You're still on. Join us live. So just give me a thumbs up. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you're all done. Okay, so I'm going to bring out this picture one more time. Okay. So notice how on Kim Kardashian, she has that more of a full cheek. So they put a little highlighter right under the contour before they finished up with the blending. Okay. Everybody good with that? Let's see. Alice, are we good now?
Yes, I'm
Look
good
at
now.
that. It's all good. Okay, so now what do? You look crazy. It's not Halloween. How in the world are you going to go out in public? Well, we've got you covered. Number one, and I have to move over a little because now I'm sharing my screen, so I have to shift. The blending sponge is fabulous. So we've got, of course, our blending brush. These two are some of my favorites. The other is just going back to our cream brush that we're going to do some techniques. And the first technique would be called stippling. So if you are a guest out there, if you're one of our customers, give us some loving because we always love giving our door prizes away to our guests who are watching. And the more comments you have any questions, we want to be able to answer them, but we also want to be able to reward you. So if you notice this sponge, when you get it from your Mary Kay consultant, it's actually like this big. You have to wet it. Do not use this sponge dry. It's not going to work. And just an FYI, these sponges came on the market at least, my gosh, 8 years ago. They were $35 from the company that I used to buy it from because Mary Kay didn't have it. Mary Kay now has, this is a silicone sponge, which is fabulous because it holds its shape and you can clean it and not have it be just a falling apart mess. So what you want to do when you're using cream, you want to make sure you wash your brushes or your sponges. Just put it with a little bit of warm water and a gentle Dove soap or Dish Dawn is actually the one I was thinking of. So you'll notice I am just having almost like a padding effect or what we call stippling. So with this brush, I can go in and pat that highlighted area. Remember, we go underneath. Now this is done with a highlighter, or you can use a powder, like when you have your compact and it has the moonstone or the crystalline, this would be the same kind of effect. I'm just doing it tonight just to show you how that concealer could be used. And I'm patting. Now, when I said cream on cream and then powder on powder, what that means is I've done my foundation, which was cream. If you use a mineral powder foundation or you don't use a foundation, you may just want to go ahead and do a powder contour. But when I did my cream or liquid foundation, I'm going to put this concealer, which is cream, and I'm not going to put any powder until I'm ready to set it. So before I do a cheek color that's powder, I am going to set my cream with powder. So it's cream on cream. Then you use a translucent powder to set, or the silky setting powder to set the makeup. Right. And then you can use a powder for your cheek or even a powder contour. Okay. Does that make sense? If you're watching that and you're like, whoa, I think I lost. Let me know. Did that make sense to you?
That makes sense. So you said cream to cream or powder to powder, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So now look at how much, as I'm blotting and tapping and making sure that that is not wiped off, but it's blended. Okay, so that was just the concealer. Now let's go into blending this part, which was let's see, this is my powder, this is my cream. Okay, I'll do this part. So again, you can use the same sponge, or you could use this kind of a brush. If it's cream, I'm going to use a brush designed for cream. If this is a powder, remember, if you used a latte, remember I was showing you the latte powders and I did the powder here, then I'm not going to use a cream brush. I'm going to use something like this, and I'm going to put translucent powder on it, and I'll do that in a second. So let me do the cream side. And again, I'm going to pat.
Translucent side.
And I'm going to pat to make sure.
I love this powder, by the way. I absolutely love this translucent powder.
It's great. Yes. So, Andrea, you're using a damp sponge. Right. Okay.
And you squeeze it out at least 5 times to make sure you really got all that water out.
Okay. It's definitely got to set.
And then I did part of my nose, and I did the cream on my nose. So I'm going to just, again, stipple, stipple, stipple. I could use this brush as well if I wanted to get in there. And you're really just making sure that there's no start and stop. Professional makeup, you need professional brushes. So number one, get with your Mary Kay consultant and get more brushes. You need double. When I'm putting on my makeup, this one's now soiled. So if I don't have my brush collection ready to go, then I'm going to take a soil brush, which can add bacteria, can break out my skin, but it also can make my makeup look darker because it already has color on it. You want fresh.
Not fun.
Do what?
It's not fun when you do that.
Oh, that one's okay. That one's so dry. I thought it was powder.
Okay.
So then that stipple motion is just so, you just start to get very, very used to it. And here's what I want you guys to take away from tonight. When you're looking at good makeup, you might find you have to blend it and then put more on. Blend it and then put a little bit more on. Blend it and maybe even a little bit more on. And when you watch makeup videos from the pros, it really is not a 5-minute look. But we can give you some great 5-minute looks. But when you're doing good stage makeup or good makeup for pictures, then it just needs to be practiced, because when you are rushed, there's nothing worse than just not knowing what you're doing and then having everything be.
There we go.
So can you guys see how it's coming together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I notice always when I'm doing, specifically down here, if I haven't done my glycolic peel or my microdermabrasion lately, every 3 days, your skin needs to be sloughed off.
Yeah.
And I can tell the makeup just sits on the surface of the dead skin cells. So,
yep.
You know that you're right, that skincare is so important to how your makeup looks on your face, because you do have, your face is healthy, and that's what enhances your makeup, is having a very healthy skin. And our product does allow us healthy skin.
I mean, Alice, you're 212 years old. Look how great you look. And I am only 180, so I'm looking pretty darn good. Thanks to all. Okay. D's the baby in there. Okay.
I'm the baby. I'm 80 years old.
This side is powder. I want to bring you to the translucent powder. Now, this was a technique that I was taught early on, and it's super easy. So if you're somebody new to contouring and highlighting, then again, this is my powder. I did the latte. You're going to take a stripe of the translucent above, a stripe underneath, and then you're going to just blend those two together. See, you got to have, though, a really great, now notice I have a nice shadow, but I'm blending, and a little bit of back and forth is fine. If you happen to take too much off, just add a little bit more on. Sometimes I even squeeze the brush so that I can get right in there.
That's what Luis does.
Oh, does he? See?
Because I was going on my Color Confident, and I'm working through it.
Oh, good. Isn't it great? Mary Kay has the best tools to teach us. Like, I knew nothing when I started all this. Mary Kay, we just have a great company. Now, this is a cream brush, and it's the blending brush. Oh, my gosh, you guys. Do you know about this brush, Alice?
I do. I love it. I switch back and forth depending on what I'm doing, that brush, or I'll use our foundation brush as well.
I like telling the audience this brush is so special because it has 10,000 more hairs than the brushes that you've just mentioned, Alice, our foundation brush. This one feels like velvet, but it's not meant to be pushed in. So if you're using, hold up your brush again for the liquid foundation, please.
Oh.
That one is shorter, and it's meant to be like pushed into the skin. This one is meant to be like just more on the surface.
It feels amazing using it.
Yeah.
So the other thing too, Andrea, to make note, it's also angled. Our faces are angled, and so it's chiseled.
Tell why that's important.
When you are gliding something on, if you have something that's just dull and blunt like this, it's going to sit in one area. This way it allows us to actually smooth it over an area, and you're not going to get a lot of it in, it'll smooth it over evenly instead of having it in one single area. And because our face has all these different ridges on it, you want something that can follow the contour of those lines easily. If this was blunted, you wouldn't be able to do that. You would get so much like concentrations around your face, it wouldn't be even.
So, Dee, do you have the cheek brush handy, the angled cheek brush?
I do.
Hold that up,
do.
because actually,
this is the cheek brush.
Yeah. Tell them how that is meant for also putting on contour.
So this cheek brush, it's very interestingly shaped. So I'm going to actually show four different. So this is this is the translucent powder all over brush. Very fluffy, okay, rounded. It's like an afro. I call this like my afro brush. So, okay, then this is like the wife, or I don't know, sibling. I don't care. It's like shorter pom-poms. Just think pom-pom.
Oh,
okay, it's gonna be a little more, huh?
What,
this is I like to call it my palm brush, but this is the powder brush. Yes. Okay. Then so that's would be like powder foundation, and if you're doing like highlighters, you can also use that brush. Then you have this brush, which is what we were just talking about for the liquid foundation. And then we have the cheek brush. So the cheek brush is like something in between the powder brush and the the cream foundation brush. It's in half. Okay. So sorry, I keep on doing that. It is in half. So it's not like the other ones, which are full. Okay. This is just in half, and it goes right here. And you can also, what my friend taught me is I could just take a little bit just right here and then put it right under my eye, and it just follows a line. It's not thick like, I keep on doing that. This one, see the difference of that? Hold on for a second. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I can do this. Okay, so that one's in half. See how that has an edge to it? This one does not.
Yeah.
Okay. This means that I can actually create a nice long line with this, and it's going to be in a much more concentrated area. This one, it's going to be more of an all over. Does that, did I get all that right, Andrea?
And really what I love is if you've ever used a fan brush or this right here, this sharpness that Dee just said is perfect to create that chiseled, but then you can turn it, and then if you notice, this is the shape of where the cheek color. So we've done the highlights tonight. We've done the highlights, and then we've done the contours, and now we've blended. And ladies, good brushes are going to make all the difference. And so whether you are looking at having your travel bag ready to go, I mean, I got to tell you, when I got a duplicate set of all of my skincare, all of my brushes, all of my makeup, so my travel bag was always stocked and ready, my life became, as a mom of 3, my life became so much more peaceful.
Right. My clients do it too. They get they'll get either the travel set or just the extra bag. They get the extra roll-up bag and they put everything in it.
And just make sure, and even at home, you want to make sure, as Alice said, and makeup's fun. We talked a lot about some of the extra ways to do makeup tonight, highlighting and contouring, but it's the skin that will make a difference in your overall makeup application. So I just think, oh my gosh, didn't Alice and Dee do a great job, you guys?
Alice, way to persevere and get on.
Yes, I'm so glad. I came on late, so I just kind of listen and watch, but everything you said is absolutely correct. I contour my face every time I go out the door if I'm wearing makeup. But you know what? Even though we wear a mask, I still find myself wearing makeup.
Because you're taking it off eventually.
Yes. Yes.
That's what the makeup remover is for.
Yeah, right.
And we have makeup remover.
Yes.
Well, we think we might be having a good audience after the event. So if you're watching this in the recorded, we thank you so much for being with us. And let me make sure I tell you, next week is our men's night. We're going to talk about all the skincare and the beard oil and all the things for men and why it's important for men to be taking care of their skin. And also why men are really impressed at our Mary Kay marketing plan. When the men look at how much money and how solid our company is, they are very encouraged to see their wife or their sister or their girlfriend soar. So make sure you invite your friends, because we give away gifts when we have our guests on, and we just appreciate all of you so much. And last but not least, I will just pull this up, because every event that you are a part of, you go into our monthly giveaway. And this month it is our sweater, our cinnamon soy candle, and our berry vanilla body care set. And your consultant will win when you win. So it's a double win-win for everybody. All right. I had so much fun. Are y'all ready to have some turkey and some mashed potatoes this week?
Please.
Yes. Yes.
I went on a run this morning and I did my lift. So I'm prepping for a good feast. I won't feel guilty.
Way to go, Andrea.
I know. I'm just the opposite. My daughter is preparing everything, so I'm going to her house for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And to be with your family.
Yes.
I pray and I send my love to all of you that this is a week that we can be finally together. We can all be safe. We can all remember that it is the loved ones in our life, and just coming together that is so special, especially after last year. So thank you so much. Make sure you book your one-on-one holiday makeover with your consultant and be back with us next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.